You open your email and see those dreaded words. Your role has been impacted. Your heart sinks. Your mind races. What now? I've been there. And so have some of the best engineers I know. But here's the thing. A layoff does not define you. In fact, getting laid off could be the start of something even better. In this video, I'll walk you through exactly what to do next, not just to recover, but to come back even stronger. Hey folks, my name is Utsav. I'm a software engineer based in Seattle with over 15 years of experience in big tech and startups. My goal with this channel is to provide you mentorship to help you excel in your software engineering career. If that sounds interesting, consider subscribing and connect with me on Instagram, LinkedIn, or any other social media platform where I'll be happy to answer your questions directly. First of all, if you were laid off recently, I want to say that I'm truly sorry. Hearing that the job you put your heart and soul into has been eliminated is never easy. But let me put one thing straight. Getting laid off is absolutely not a reflection of your worth or your skills. I was laid off in 2013 because my entire project got scrapped. Over the past decade, some of the most talented engineers I've worked with have also been laid off. This is, unfortunately, a common occurrence in the tech industry today, and you are not alone. This video will walk you through a clear system from immediate steps to take to how to rebuild, recharge your confidence, and approach job hunting. When you find out that you've been laid off, the first step is to clean up your corporate assets. You can skip to the next step if you can no longer access your company email or tools. But act fast if you still have access to your corporate email, tools, or internet. Download copies of your performance reviews, internal feedback, at least a year of your pay stubs, and any portfolio-worthy projects. Export contacts that you can reach out to later. Once your access is gone, it's gone. So don't wait. Needless to say, make sure that you follow your company's policy when you do so. Now that the immediate fire drill is over, the first thing you should ask yourself is whether you want to jump back into the corporate world or would you like to pursue something of your own. A layoff can sometimes be a blessing in disguise. Often, a cushy corporate job with a comfortable paycheck acts as a friction. It keeps us from stepping outside our comfort zone. Maybe you've always had that entrepreneurial spark, the one that got buried under work items and quarterly OKRs. Maybe you're the kind of person with a list of product ideas, notes full of concepts, or side projects that never got time they deserve. And maybe this is the moment you needed, the nudge to explore them seriously. The truth is that the barrier to entry to creating something new has never been lower. With AI tools that can help you build MVPs, generate marketing copies, automate workflows, or even design your entire app, you can go from idea to execution faster than ever. And even deploying your project is no longer a weeks-long process. Platforms like Sebala, who have also kindly sponsored this video, make it super easy to bring your ideas to life, whether it's a startup, a passion project, or just a portfolio that finally reflects the kind of work that you want to do. Sebala is a modern all-in-one platform that removes common friction points. No fixed pricing tiers, no seat-based billing, and no caps on collaborators or parallel builds. Just usage-based pricing, including free internal traffic between services. So your architecture doesn't get penalized for being modular. Under the hood, it runs Kubernetes engine across 25 global regions, giving your apps production-grade reliability and scale from day one. For static assets, it integrates Cloudflare's 260-plus edge locations, so your assets are cached close to users globally without extra configuration. It also supports a full-stack developer experience out of the box. Git-based deploys, instant preview environments, one-click deploy templates, and support for trunk-based or Gitflow workflows. You can also use the stack you're most comfortable with. Sebala supports multiple runtimes and frameworks out of the box. You also get managed Postgres, object storage, and a built-in database studio, so you don't need to wire up third-party tools just to get the basic infrastructure in place. If you've used Heroku, Vercel, or Fly.io, Sebala blends the best parts of those without the hidden fees or aging limitations. So, if you do decide to create your own application and want to deploy it without any complications, definitely give Sebala a try by using the link in the description below. Thanks again to Sebala for sponsoring this video. But if entrepreneurship is not your jam and you'd rather get a job as soon as possible, I understand. In that case, the most critical aspect of bouncing back stronger is your mindset. Getting laid off can have a huge negative impact on your mental state and your confidence. Giving yourself some breathing space is important before you jump back in to find your next role. Yes, the urgency is real, but panic doesn't help. Take a few days to breathe, reset, go for walks, write a journal, talk to people you trust. This is a rare moment to reflect and recalibrate. I know that it's tempting to dive headfirst into job boards and interview prep, but that can actually backfire. Without structure, it's easy to spiral. Pile on a few rejections after a recent layoff, and your confidence can quickly hit rock bottom. Therefore, here is the mindset shift I want you to make. Systems lead to success, not emotions. Emotions lead to burnout. So you need to set up a system, a routine that's light enough to manage, but strong enough to keep you moving forward. Set daily goals, maybe one job application, one networking message, one interview prep session. But don't let that consume all your time. Let me walk you through a concrete system that I recommend, which is a combination of focused job hunting, relationship building, and self-investment. Let's start with job hunting. First, segment your target companies into 3 buckets: safe, match, and reach. The safe bucket lists roles you believe you can land easily. The match bucket may have roles that are slightly more challenging to land, but are the best fit for your skills and experience. And the reach bucket is essentially a list of your dream roles where you would level up from what you previously had. Having these buckets is essential because your goal should not be to get anything that you can, but to bounce back stronger. However, if your financial situation dictates that you need a paycheck fast, prioritize roles in the safe bucket first. But if you have some financial cushion, this might be your chance to upgrade. Research the companies, read their engineering blogs, check out their tech stack, and try to understand their product direction. This will help you tailor your application and your resume. Once you have a list of roles neatly bucketed, rework your resume and your LinkedIn profile. Start with LinkedIn because it gets seen more. Highlight impact, keywords, and clarity. Include quantifiable numbers and metrics. Be sure to include a headline that shows that you're open to work. Then convert your LinkedIn into a clean, ATS-friendly PDF resume. Maintain different versions of your resume, tailored for various roles: backend, full stack, infrastructure, etc. I've covered all of this in depth in my resume video, so I'll link that in the end of the video. Once you've polished your resume, start networking. Don't hide the layoff, own it. Most engineers get their next role through referrals, not through cold applications. Post on LinkedIn, message old colleagues, say that the recent layoffs impacted you and that you're looking for new opportunities in software engineering, systems engineering, ML, or whatever your area of expertise is in. And mention that you'd love to connect or get referrals. Also, reach out to your personal network, people you've worked with, studied with, or collaborated with. These people will have the best understanding of your work. A simple, respectful message can go a long way, even if it's been a while. You'll be surprised how many people empathize with your situation and will gladly refer you. The key is to be honest, concise, and humble. Once you have a few leads, start preparing for interviews. Brush up on coding fundamentals and practice your design skills. Focus on understanding patterns rather than brute memorization. But don't ignore behavioral aspect of interviews. The more experience you have, the more critical behavioral interviews become. Think about stories from your career that demonstrate leadership, problem solving, or resilience. Practice framing your layoffs positively. Honesty is key, but so is positioning. But always remember that getting laid off does not mean that the problem is with you. Emphasize what you've learned and how you've grown from it. I have an entire playlist dedicated to interview preparation that provides the necessary structure you need. I will link that at the end of the video, so definitely check it out. Finally, allocate time for yourself. Take a course, build a side project, contribute to open source, travel, or learn a new instrument. Not only does this keep your skills sharp, it also gives you something different to talk about in the interviews that will make you stand out from the sea of applicants. It shows that you're proactive and passionate, not just about your craft, but also about your hobbies. And one last thing. I left my job at Microsoft earlier this year to create my own startup dedicated to helping software engineers land better jobs. Obviously, there are many tools already out there, some of which you may already know and use. However, we set out to create something very different. One that uses data from hundreds of real interviews and combines that with science-based learning techniques to help you nail your interviews without having to grind through thousands of problems. So if you're actively preparing and want to try out our platform, consider joining the waitlist by clicking the link in the description below. We'll be launching at the end of summer. In addition to that, if you'd like me to review your resume or refer you to people that I know in the industry, send me a message on Instagram at Utsavized and I will do my best to help you out. That's the least I can do to say thank you for being a subscriber of this channel. These are tough times, but we must support each other. If you've been through a layoff and bounced back, drop your story in the comments below and help each other out in any way you can. Let's all remember that layoffs can happen to any of us, and it's just a moment in your journey, not your identity. You've got this. Good luck.